Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
What? Dude. Fish on.
We don't need gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select 1 team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
RowPaint.com is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. It's Coach Leon Rice and Andy Rowe.
Oh no. Want to just paint my house?
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Happy Wednesday to you. Happy game day for the TBT Once a Bronco team. We got the Bronco Legends Classic tonight. We're going to air that live here on BNN. We're going to tell you all about that today. Leon Rice going to join us as well to give a summer update on the basketball team. So going to be a lot of fun here on Bronco Nation News Live. And as always, on Wednesdays, we got our man John Mallory. You see him there in the KTIK studios in downtown Boise. Johnny, happy Wednesday. I hope you've gotten a little bit of sleep the last 2 nights with the college football game out now. But how we doing, man?
Good, man. Thanks for having me, BJ. Some hoops tonight, some discussion going on. I know SEC Media Days are going on. Our boy Jordan K getting all the latest and breaking stories left and right down there. And where are we? July 17th. Here we go, man. Yeah.
Southwest 678, Johnny, joining us from Italy. So hello from Italy. We thank you so much for watching us there in Italy. Not sure what time it would be over there, but Robbie Robinson saying good morning Broncos. And yeah, Johnny, we had the football, last week with media days and everything, but there's a little lull. It actually works out perfectly, I think, for Once a Bronco and this event this week. Right after you get done with media days, you got this week to kind of focus on basketball a little bit. So should be fun tonight. 6:00, Borah High School. You are going to be on the call with me. Tyson Degenhardt is going to be on the call. We got a dunk contest, 3-point contest. We do have it finally confirmed. I'm able to announce today on the show the current players on the team will be in the dunk and 3-point contest, and we've got the names of some of those players that we're going to tell you about here in just a second. But if you're a Boise State basketball fan, as we've been talking about, Johnny, tonight is a celebration of Boise State basketball, a celebration of the Leon Rice era, and should be pretty fun tonight.
I agree. Borah's will be a fun place, a good host. There's had a lot of basketball moments in that gym throughout the decades too. If you want to throw that into this celebration of basketball tonight, dunk contests are fun. 3-point contests are okay too. You can see some tip-top shooting on display. All these guys, most of them on this team are pros. This is what they do. They're exceptional at their craft, And they're going to have some fun. They're going to let their hair down tonight a little bit, so to speak, BJ. And obviously got a big task at hand coming up with this tournament. But yeah, tonight will be about the fans. It'll be about the kids. It'll be about, hey, the adults who said, hey, now dudes are in their 30s. I was in high school when Derek Marks played here. That's how long ago it is. It's kind of odd to think of it that way. But yeah, I'm excited for this thing. Is Tyson on the clock tonight? Is he working for BNN? Yeah.
This is an NIL. Tyson Degenhardt on an NIL deal is getting paid to be on the broadcast tonight.
This is the first time because Tyson and I are teammates as well. We're BNN teammates.
You are tonight, yes.
This is the first time I will get to work with my colleague at BNN, Tyson Degenhardt. So we're going to have fun on the broadcast, BJ. I don't think it's going to necessarily, you're not going to try to be Chick Hearn out there or anything. It's just kind of about this, I don't know, more I just want to get back to the basketball, but Tyson will offer terrific insight. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Chase is asking about the stream. Yes, the BNN YouTube channel, 6 o'clock tonight, 6 o'clock Mountain Time, BNN YouTube channel. We will have the broadcast. And again, you talk about Chick Hearn. It's also not going to be, KTVB or ESPN. We're not going to have replays. We're not going to have 10 cameras. But we'll get you some sort of live stream, some sort of camera. It's mostly going to be about the interviews and things like that. And yeah, it's going to be fun, Johnny. We're going to talk to, James Reed in between quarters. We're going to hopefully have Leon Rice sit down with us during the game for a little bit. We're going to have some other former players, maybe during the dunk contest or 3-point contesters. It's going to be a lot of interviews. We'll have, an extra mic or two and a chair, and whoever kind of walks by and wants to hang out. I mean, it is going to be kind of just kind of a free-for-all and see what happens, but should be fun tonight.
Yeah, let's get after it, BJ. I like the team, and good for them. I mean, it did just this is the perfect pocket in the calendar for the summer to be able to maybe hit this out of the park tonight. Other cases, typically, I mean, Boise, event town, sports town, Prater stuff, and this probably, if there was other stuff going on, might have a harder time drawing fans than I think it will tonight on a Wednesday, random night. I don't know how hot or whatever the temperature is going to be. But yeah, it just feels like this is the right time to be able to really capitalize off this. I hope they freaking win on Friday, though. I don't want a one and done in this thing, BJ. We've put, I'm kidding to my boy James Reed right now, but we put a lot of media resources into this thing, not only at BNN, absolutely the coverage you've given these guys, and KTIK, man. Jessup 2 days ago, Key Jab yesterday. We've been talking about this for a few weeks. I want this team, and I know you guys are watching too, James Reed and the fellas. Let's go to what is it, Houston, BJ? Let's go to H-Town and get that win this week. I want to see what this team can do.
Yep, it'll be Friday, July 19th, this Friday, 2 o'clock. And again, they're playing the alumni team from New Mexico. And Johnny, I've got Jeff Grammer from the New Mexico Albuquerque Journal coming on Friday to talk about the New Mexico players and preview it from the New Mexico side. Richard Patino, a favorite of yours, going to join us Friday as well. So looking forward to a New Mexico-centric show, pregame show on Friday, getting you set for this game. But here's the details. Again, scan this QR code, get your tickets now. You can get them at the door. That's fine. They'll take them at the door. But if you want to ensure you get a spot, make sure you get them now. 3-point contest starts right at about 6 o'clock. The dunk contest will follow, and then a full TBT game. They'll use the Elam ending, Johnny. It'll be 4 9-minute quarters. That first break, once you get under the 4-minute mark in the fourth quarter, they'll add 8 points to the score of the leading team, and that will be the target score to win the game. So there is always a game-winning shot with the Elam ending, and they will use those rules tonight. They have the FIBA rule as well on the goaltending and things. So a couple of small minor rules that you'll see in TBT that are different, but for the most part, it's a traditional, game as you know it to be. But $10 tickets, Borah High School. They're going to have food trucks. They're going to have music, a DJ. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, pretty much the entire current and former team will be on hand for this game tonight. So hopefully you'll come join them in person. But if you're not in Boise and you cannot make it, we will have the live stream going, Johnny, starting at about 6 o'clock tonight. All right, so somebody's asking here about the 3-point contest. The dunk contest judges. Should we announce the dunk contest participants first or the judges first?
Let's go judges first. And then let's go to the participants, BJ. I know one of the judges, but this is breaking news right now, isn't it?
I just talked to James Reed at 8:52, and it has not been announced yet. Yes.
Okay, bring it.
All right. The 5 judges for the dunk contest: Leon Rice, Matt Bauscher,
Nice.
Tyson Degenhart, old fan favorite, local legend Gibson Berryhill. And then the 5th judge could be anyone watching this stream. A lucky fan will be picked by Joey Jenkins out of the crowd to be the 5th judge for the dunk contest tonight.
Of course, Joey's working this thing too. Of course.
Joey's our MC tonight. Oh, yeah.
Dude, the red carpet's coming out tonight. Looking forward to seeing him. So Joey's going to pick just a is there an age requirement? Could it be a 12-year-old kid?
I think it could be. I mean,
that'd be great.
If you want to make a sign or something in the crowd, or if you want to, start bribing Joey Jenkins with cash offers to be the, the 5th judge tonight. Kind of cool. They're going to let a fan be a judge.
Yeah, candy will work with Joey. Shiny toys, objects. That guy's going to be easy to pull. So there'll be a lot of people that want that gig, though. So those are the judges, BJ. Leon, Bauscher, Degenhart, and Berryhill, and then someone from the audience. I like that spin. Who's in the contest?
All right, so I do have someone asked something about Najee Smith, and I do have to confirm with this.
What?
Najee Smith, I don't think's in the dunk contest. He's got to be, right? I'm going to reach back out to James Reed real quick and confirm. But the list I have, and again, you want to see some of these, Broncos that you don't know much about, Johnny, and get a good look at some of these guys. How about Emmanuel Ugbo in the dunk contest? You want to get your first look at Emmanuel Ugbo? He is in the dunk contest.
I bet that guy can throw down too. Okay.
6'10", freshman center. Another newcomer you get a chance to see. Might be playing for backup center minutes this year. Ethan Lathan is in the dunk contest tonight. This guy's got some ups. I'm curious to see what
I don't know much about him, but he can obviously do something. I mean, they're not going to put him in this thing if they can't. And what did you say? 6'9", 6'10"?
6'10", yeah. When you see him tonight, you're going to go, man, that dude looks the part. I would have thought this guy would have been in the 3-point contest, but apparently he has some ups as well. Andrew Meadow is in the dunk contest tonight.
Awesome. Yeah, he can get up. I've seen Meadow dunk a lot in warm-ups. You have too. I mean, Meadow, he gets up, dude. Okay. Meadow's a character. And dunk contests aren't just about who jumps highest or has the most athleticism. A lot of times it's the creativity, incorporating the crowd. I mean, these judges can essentially be bribed with creativity, right? They'll boost that score up a little bit if you're fun and if you're entertaining. And I think Andrew Meadow, BJ, might be able to bring that to the table tonight.
Now, I don't know when you were here and when you left town for a couple of years, but the next gentleman is an assistant coach for the TBT team, former Bronco, former transfer from CSI, I believe, has huge ups for his size. How about Montego Alford?
Oh, yes. Isn't he the national champion, Montego Alford, with CSI? Didn't they win it with Colby Blaine on that JC run? BJ, I was in town with Montego, and I don't know if there was I'm sorry I said this, because aside from James Webb III, Montego Alford was the best dunker on that team. Other guys might be like, oh, you're crazy who are on that team. But BJ, you saw the warm-ups too. James Webb was on an entirely different athletic level. I think he's still the finest overall athlete maybe that Leon's brought into the program in 15, 20 years. You tell me. Yeah. He's still playing at a high level. But we saw James Webb. It was like some Sean Kemp stuff there. Beautiful. But aside from that, dude, Montego Alford, was he 5'9", 5'10"? That was a while ago, too. I can't wait to see him tonight. He can still get up. He's probably in his 30s now, BJ.
He was running he's again assistant coach. I saw him on Monday night kind of running the practice a little bit for the TBT team. Remember when he was a senior, Johnny, they do that college slam dunk contest, like around the Final Four. Boise State was sending out videos trying to get him in that college slam dunk contest. He does have some major, is he 5'10"? 5'8"? He's not
maybe tall. In your program he's 5'10", and then when the 5'8" guy stands next to him, he says, "Oh, he's my height," that type of thing. So I felt like I was taller than him, and I'm not 5'10", but we'll see.
So you're going to have a 5'7", 5'8" guy in the dunk contest and then a 6'10" guy in Ethan Lathan. So we'll see the difference there. And then as of now, the 5th participant in the dunk contest is one of the members of the other team of local pros that's going to be playing against them. Keyshawn Liggins is going to be in the dunk contest as well. So those are your 5 guys in the dunk contest. Johnny, they're going to get 1 minute, and they got to make a dunk in 1 minute. If you miss it, you can keep trying, but you get 1 minute on the clock to make your dunk, and they're going to start with 5 or 6 or however many they end up having, and then they'll go down to 2, and it's that's going to go pretty quick in the dunk contest. You're going to get pick your one best dunk, get right to it, and then there's 5 of them, and then they go to 2, and then that'll be it.
I wonder if the dunk goes through, if the dunk is executed, but the participant doesn't feel right about the way he executed it. Maybe the ball didn't feel right, or I wonder if you have a minute. Yeah, there's my dunk. I know I dunked the ball, but I want to dunk it again and use that one. Or can I just dunk 3 times and say, hey, what was my best one? Probably the second one. I'm going with number 2. Probably not. Seems like confusing. Probably you just get your make and then you're out. Okay. I got it.
We'll see. And we will have to check on Najee Smith. You would think he'd be a prime candidate to be in the dunk contest. I'm not exactly sure why he's not, but we'll work on that. So dunk contest, again, it'll be Emmanuel Ugbo, Andrew Meadow, Ethan Lathan, Montego Alford, Keyshawn Liggins, and that'll happen tonight. We'll get to the 3-point contest participants in just a second, but first, Cutwater Spirits, more than 35 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Our studio sponsor at BNN is Cutwater Spirits. RoePaint.com, our title sponsor, ROEPaint.com, whether it's concrete coatings, industrial, commercial, residential, all your painting needs. Make sure you check out our friends at RoePaint.com. And again, support RoePaint.com, our title sponsor, because there would be no BNN without RoePaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Tomorrow night, secret guest coming up. We'll announce it when we can, but we're very excited about tomorrow night, episode 2, season 2 of the Tyson Degenhart Show. ICCU.com. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, but as you know by now, that eBranch mobile online banking on the app on your smartphone is the best in the business. And so happy the Raines family made the switch to ICCU. I just wish we had done it earlier. So you'll check out ICCU, Idaho Central Credit Union, and episode 2 of the Tyson Degenhart Show tomorrow night. Matt Bauscher, you're going to see his name on the jerseys tonight, Johnny, the jersey sponsor, the presenting sponsor of the TBT team. Not a surprise when someone needs a little cash, needs a little help. Matt Bauscher steps up. Bauscher Real Estate. Check him out. #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley for a reason. BauscherRealEstate.com. And we just used Matt to buy and sell our home. And we were so happy with the process. Kelly, Cade, Sarah, Matt, the whole crew just did an outstanding job. Highly, highly recommend the folks at Bauscher Real Estate. Check them out online, BauscherRealEstate.com. And of course, Ridley's Family Markets, ShopRidleys.com. You're heading up to McCall this weekend or here later in the summer. Make sure you check out their location in McCall. They've got some in the Magic Valley, around the Treasure Valley as well. 14 in the state of Idaho, even one in Laramie, Wyoming, and Utah and surrounding areas. So check them out, ShopRidleys.com. And we appreciate our friends at Ridley's Family Markets. All right, Johnny, let's get to the 3-point participants. This is where it gets fun. The local pros will announce them first. We got Isaiah Wright and DeAndre Jones, both former Borah High School players.
Yeah.
Back playing at Borah. Isaiah Wright in the 3-point contest. That's going to be pretty cool.
Is Berto going to root for the other guys tonight? I mean, is Berto going to root for the Boise State guys to beat DeAndre Jones tonight? I don't think Berto has that in his DNA. Isaiah Wright, wasn't he a Berto guy coming up through the system as well? I mean, Berto put his, Berto's got his influence on like all the, but I mean, seriously, Berto, this might be an emotional night for our boy Berto, man.
It will be. Hopefully we'll get him. Maybe we can get him on the broadcast for a few minutes. Gibson Berryhill, again, played at C of I, local kid. Gibson Berryhill is playing tonight with the alumni or the pro team. Gibson Berryhill will be in the 3-point contest as well. All right. Do you want to go current? Let's go current Broncos first. And again, this is another opportunity, Johnny, to see some newcomers, see some guys that you haven't seen much, but you've heard about them. The 3-point participants for the current roster: Julian Bowie, the incoming freshman; Pearson Carmichael, another incoming freshman they're high on; Chris Lockett Jr., You expecting Chris Lockett to get some big minutes this year at the, backing up Alvaro at the point, also being the 2 guard. Chris Lockett is in your 3-point contest. And then you got to go with the co-host on tonight's event, Tyson Degenhart, is in the 3-point contest as well.
No Max Rice.
No, I said current players. Max Rice is no longer a current player.
Current players. Sorry, BJ.
Those are your 4 players from the current team. Julian Bowie, Pearson Carmichael, Chris Lockett Jr., and Tyson Degenhart. For the alumni team, how about Thomas Broplay starting us off? Max Rice in the 3-point contest. Marcus Shaver Jr.
Oh, yeah.
And Justinian Jessup.
Oh.
Justinian Jessup, Max Rice, Marcus Shaver, Tyson Degenhart, all these guys going in the 3-point contest here. Going to be fun.
If I walk into the Bronco Nation News sports book, and hopefully one day that exists, and I see the odds I see the board, I would say overall, I'd say Jessup's the favorite at plus 170. I mean, Max is close. He's got to be right there.
A wide open 3 for Max Rice. I mean, we see him in warmups. He doesn't miss very often.
Justinian Jessup's a professional, and he hit more threes in less games at BSU than Max. Okay. I love Max more than anybody. I pray to his jersey before every episode of Idaho Sports. Game worn, by the way. Game worn.
Go take another selfie.
But I think Jessup deserves to be the favorite. I'm not saying Max won't win it. Yeah. But I think Jessup, BJ, maybe you tell me. I'm in the BNN sports book right now. This place is bad.
You're probably right. You're probably right. Jessup has to be a slight favorite. I mean, what about Marcus Shaver too? I mean, that guy can shoot.
I love he's up there, right? And there's a lot of wild cards. The incoming freshmen never seen play, so they would be long shots. Barry Hill is my value. Okay. Barry Hill probably shows up at a YMCA a couple of times a week looking like a poor man's John Stockton, and he just destroys everybody on the floor, right? We've all played pickup with those guys, the small college guys, and then they still want to play, and they come there and nobody can hang with them. I bet Gibson Barry Hill, and people will be like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Oh, I played at C of I back in the day. I bet he would be my value play. I'm going to put $10 on Barry Hill because I think I'm going to get, 15, 20 to 1 odds in this thing.
I think that's a good one. So the format will be 1 minute, Johnny. 1 minute to make as many 3-pointers as you can. You can pick your rebounder and you can pick your passer. So 1 rebounder, 1 passer, you get 1 minute, and you can shoot anywhere from beyond the 3-point line. So there's no rack. And there's no 5 shots. It's you can stay at the top of the key the whole time. You can move around depending on how you're feeling, but you have a rebounder. They get it to the passer. Passer gets it to you. 1 minute to make as many threes as you can. Since there's 12 participants, the first round will have guys going at both ends, so it goes faster. So you'll have 6 rounds of 2, and then it will get down to the overall top 4, and then the top 2 going for the championship.
That'll be fun. 1 ball.
I think you might get a couple balls. I think it's 5 balls.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because what if you have a long miss or
5 balls?
I mean, okay, multiple balls. So it's just going to be catch and shoot. I wonder if the strategy will be find your best spot on the floor, because I've seen dudes practice. They'll be in the practice center and they got that automated ball return machine now. So beautiful. I think that costs about as much as my car, probably more. And they'll stay in the same spot and just drill 100 in that spot. And then they go to another spot, 100. So I wonder if that's going to be the best strategy, or if a guy wants to be more in a rhythm and move here and there. But every time you're moving around, that's a second or 2 off the clock that you're not just catching and shooting.
Yeah.
If I was advising somebody on this, pick your spot, at least go for the first 30 seconds at one spot. And if you're just not feeling it, hell, go to the wing or go to the top of the key, something like that, and then try to go that way. But this will be fun.
So is the dream finals, Justinian and Max in the finals?
Of course, right? I mean, it is.
By the way, I hate to bring this up, Johnny, because we're referring to Justinian Jessup as the all-time Mountain West 3-point leader.
We are?
Well, I mean, he is the all-time Mountain West 3-point leader, Justinian
Jessup. Okay.
I am doing the Lindy's Magazine previews for the Mountain West this year. That record is in serious jeopardy this year. And it's going to be because of COVID. Our Boise State fans putting an asterisk next to that. Do you have any idea which Mountain West player on his 5th season due to COVID has a chance and likely to break his record this year if he does what he's done the last 4 years? He is on his 3rd Mountain West school.
Alvaro.
Nope. It is Xavier Dussel. 3 years at Wyoming, 1 year at Fresno, and now he is under Steve Alford at Nevada.
Yeah.
He has averaged 65.2.
With 3 teams.
Yep, and 5 years. Yep.
It's going to break the record. It's just like this vagabond free agent. Like, I love it. That's cool. But if Boise State fan is mad at that, then I'm going to call them hypocrites, because I haven't heard one person say, whoa, Jonah Dalmas, if he gets 18 field goals and he's the all-time record, there's no way to slice it or dice it. Jonah, this will be 5 years of playing college football.
Yep.
More than an expiring year red shirt as well. Jonah, absolutely. This is his 5th full-time year playing. And I will tell you this, the record I believe Jonah's chasing was set by a COVID player too. So
Xavier Dussel is 65 threes away from the record of, he has 261. Justinian Jessup had 325. He is 65 away. And over
I don't know if we'll get that.
Well, over his 4 years, he's averaged 65.2. And so if he just has an average year, he would break the record. So we'll see. By the way, quick football note, Sky Ship saying, Johnny, that Dane Brugler from The Athletic has moved Ashton Genty into his number 1 running back for the 2024 NFL draft.
Impressive. We're going to see a lot of that. I mean, God, I hope he has the year we all think he's going to have. And if he does, then it's going to be a fun spring for Boise State fans, because he's going to be in the national news every day. You know how the draft coverage is. I mean, they can't get enough of it. They'll be talking running backs, and it's a really good running back class. Yep. Really good. So Boise State fan, don't freak out if he's not ahead of Judkins or Henderson or some of these other backs, Ollie Gordon. Like, he's right in that mix. It's kind of like, what flavor do you want? Yeah, you know what? This guy does this better. This guy does that better. Kind of what the team fits. And obviously it'll come down to the NFL team. They're the ultimate holders here, right? They make the ultimate decision. But Dane Brugler talks to a lot of people, man. So he's got Genty as his number 1 back. I think I agree with him, PJ. I think I do. I do love the Henderson kid at Ohio State, but he was hurt last year. I haven't seen enough of him, but yeah, I do like Genty. I'll say this, and then you can move on. I do like Genty better than Ollie Gordon, though. Just the tape and whatnot on the field. I think Genty is a more complete back than Ollie Gordon. I think Ollie Gordon gets a little more national attention, and he should. He's really good. But I think Genty's just I would prefer Ashton Genty.
I do want to get back to the TBT talk in a minute, but while we're talking football, I did want to bring up at some point the EA Sports college football game, Johnny. I know you've been dissecting that and looking at it. I don't know if you've played a game yet. I mean, I don't know anybody else other than John Mallory that literally, not only did he dissect the rosters, but he's running plays in practice, and
people are doing it.
No, wait, 99% of the people just started a game with their favorite school and started playing. They didn't first go practice for 2 days and hours. Have you played a game yet?
1.
Okay, you did finally feel good enough from practice that you went and played a game.
I haven't played a game since practice. Like, look, I'm not just going to turn the game on and start a season. Here I am, Boise State, Georgia Southern. I don't know how to play the game yet. I don't know what I'm doing. There's a million buttons now. You can do anything. Change coverages, press, man, zone. Man, there's a million things you need to work out how to do with this game. And a cool feature the game has, it's kind of like the practice field. You do drills, like you'll just operate with a running back, and you'll do drills, and you learn how to play, learn how to throw, learn how to catch, learn how to defend, learn how to do swim moves with Ahmad Hassanin. So what I'm doing, BJ, is I'm going to put 10, 15, 20 hours in to the practice field. I'm going to get as good as I can on that. I'll play a game or two every now and again after my work. The games are the reward, BJ. Spencer Danielson has taught me a lot. That's one of the things. The game is the reward. Okay, that's the fun thing. But the real work, if you're dedicated to EA Sports College Football 25, the real, the blood, sweat, and the tears, that's on the practice field. You got to get good. And then everything else on game day, BJ, it's going to take care of itself. And I don't know what team I want to run with yet. I might choose San Jose State. I like to find a lower level team that I can build up. That's what I do. And I would easily pick the Vandals, but yeah. So I don't know what team I'm going to use.
By the way, your San Jose State Spartans, Chevin Cordero, I know you're a big fan of his.
Love him.
Was just a first-round pick by my Battlehawks in the XFL draft today.
The A.J. McCarron era is over. You're going to retire. You better retire that jersey.
I don't know, man. Maybe him and Cordero are going to battle it out. I don't know. But nobody goes and practices. Come on, man.
Are people on here? People don't go on do those practice games, all those drills that you can do. I'm the only one that's doing that. You guys are just playing blind. You guys probably
can't you get better while playing the game? You don't have to go into a dynasty mode right away. Just play some exhibition games.
Well, here's the deal. The read option. It's a big part of my offensive scheme. Okay. And they changed the button a little bit, whether if you just give it to the back on the read, you don't press anything. But if you want to keep it with the quarterback on the mesh, you press X, so you keep the ball and then run.
Okay.
Practicing that in a game, I get to do it one play, then I got to huddle, I got to pick the play again. In practice, it speeds it up, and I can do the mesh for like 10 minutes straight of just doing the mesh, just finding the perfect rhythm, the perfect speed, reading that defensive end. Is he coming in? Okay, I'm keeping that sucker. Is he playing out? Okay, fullback or lead back, go right up the middle. Like, you can do stuff like that. That's how intricate this game is. And when I start my dynasty, BJ, I want to be ready to go. I want to show up with a lot of confidence.
Hey, man, if you like the read option, KU has a great running quarterback, great running quarterback. I think the read option is probably one of the top teams in the country, man.
So, and that's another thing. I have to find my playbook. There's a million playbooks. What do I want to run with? What fits my philosophies? Comments are open. If you guys want to chime in, if there's a good playbook you suggest or a team to run with in the dynasty, I'm open.
He's asking what game console you use.
I just bought a PS5 like a few days ago.
Derek Morales is hyped to be at Borah tonight. Going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to that. Jared is asking if there's a roster for the competing team tonight. Johnny, this is the roster of the local pros. And again, you need to add I'm going to take this off here. How do I do this?
Who leads this team in scoring tonight, BJ?
This is the roster, but don't forget, Johnny, you do have to add Gibson Berryhill to this list. But in a storybook, it's Isaiah Wright or DeAndre Jones, right? Back at Borah, just going off.
DeAndre's more of a distributor, though. I'm just trying to think if there's a guy that's going to, come in here and say, I'm going to spoil the whole frickin' party tonight. And and the Jimmy and Joes, we're going to beat the Boise State team, and I'm going to go crazy, and all these fans are going to. I wonder if there's that guy on this on this team. We'll see. I think these guys aren't going to roll over. They're not the Washington Generals. And I promise you, James Reed is saying, hey, yes, if you can beat us, beat us. Maybe we need a loss going into this tournament to, find out maybe more of our whereabouts and lineups and whatnot. These guys are going to go hard at them, BJ. This actually, I can't believe I'm saying this. I sound like BJ Raines hyping this game up, but this might be a pretty damn exciting game tonight if these guys are getting after it a little bit. And I can promise you, Max and the fellas, they do not want to lose to DeAndre Jones and Isaiah Wright tonight. No. They do not want to. And DeAndre Jones and Isaiah Wright are like, hey, this is my house. This is Borah. This is the house that John Patrick built, and it will be defended. So we'll see tonight. Yeah. I'm gonna have fun with you and Tyson on the call, bro. Yes. Don't you got to get to Leon though?
We do have to get to Leon here in just a second. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Again, 6:00. Johnny, who would you take? The ultimate goal, they couldn't get it cleared by compliance. Maybe next year is hopefully it, but the ideal scrimmage would be against the current team, which apparently happened in private last night. I mean, that
might get to. Would that get nasty? Would that get competitive? I mean, honestly, I think this team of pros. If I'm James Reed, I don't want to play the current team. I don't want to sing Kumbaya in the middle of the floor and when's a Bronco? Like, No, I want a team that's going to come in here and try to beat us. If I'm James Reed, that's how I'm running this thing. I would rather play a team that we're not related to in a sense, right? Yeah. If you're playing the current team, I mean, I just think that's too lovey-dovey. That's too YMCA. Saturday afternoon, everybody gets to play.
Now
they're trying to win $1 million here, man.
They are.
Get after it. I don't want them to see it. I want this is James Reed's making the right call on this, in my opinion.
We never really talked, Johnny. I guess we'll do it in our pre-broadcast meeting. Who's going to kind of handle play-by-play, color, how we're going to do that. But I know you have an extensive history on play-by-play. I got to hear it at one point tonight. I got to hear, Jessup for 3. Got it. You made it legendary.
Many calls in the historic gymnasium that is Treasure Valley Community College. The Cowan Spectrum, the echoes of my time as the Idaho Vandal women's basketball play-by-play. 3 years there, 1 year at TVCC. I don't even remember how many high school games.
There's Derek Marks to Jessup in the corner to Max Rice. Got it.
I'll chime in a little bit tonight, but I just kind of want to add color and all that.
It's not going to be kind of a quote unquote play-by-play. We'll just have fun. One of us may get up, take the mic down to the bench, grab a comment from a former player or somebody on the bench, or get James Reed during the game. We're going to have fun, see what happens. You, me, and Tyson are going to have some fun. So again, $10 tickets. It's the 3-point contest, the dunk contest, full TBT game. If you're a Boise State basketball fan, you got a kid that plays basketball, come on out tonight, support these guys. Your $10 donation for the ticket helps pay their expenses for this thing. And again, starts sharply at 6 o'clock. I think you're supposed to get there about 5:30. Be ready to go right at 6. They got food trucks. They got music. After the game, Johnny, they're going to put 30 minutes on the clock, and kids can come down on the floor and get pictures, autographs, all that good stuff after the game. So that's going to be fun as well. Tickets are available at the door. Again, 5 o'clock, I believe, doors open. They're saying get there around 5:30. This thing is going to start at 6 o'clock sharp. $10 tickets. And again, BNN will air this live tonight for those of you unable to attend. And there it is. Maybe bring
Are these being given away? Are these being given away tonight?
I don't think so.
An official Roberto Bergerson, number 11, hangs in the rafters forever, or in a storage facility right now. They took it down. Idaho Stampede.
Wow.
I was working for the Stampede on Birdo night. I used to work for the Stampede too. And they gave these koozies away. And it was freaking awesome, man. When we have Boise State people in the rowpaint.com studio, BJ, and they come on in and they're like, oh, this is cool. They always, every time, point to the Birdo koozie. And they're like, oh, God, can I have that? No, never. What do you think I could get? What do you think? I mean,
I think you need to show up with a bottle of water tonight with that thing in there and say something to Birdo. Or just say, hey, you like the bottle of water here, Birdo?
Does anybody else have one of these? I mean, I just want to know, because they were giving them away at the game that night, BJ. And you remember those old G League games here in town? There was a solid 750, 800 people in that arena, man.
Oh, yeah. The voice of you're the in host, right? In stadium host, John Mallory. All right, Johnny, should be fun, man. Idaho Sports Talk today. You and Bob. What do we got 3 to 6 here today, man?
Whoa.
You haven't had your meeting yet. I put you on the spot.
No, we have. No, we're good. No, are you smelling? And it's the worst smell of your life. 0-1. Because Georgia Southern, they're feeling good down there. We're going to go to Statesboro and bring on Danny Reed. He's the play-by-play broadcaster for the Georgia Southern Eagles, and just kind of learn about this team a little bit more, and just kind of, are they talking upset down there? Want to talk to them about that. Tomorrow, by the way, I love this guest. We're going to get Brock Forsey's opinion on Ashton Jeanty and every running back since Brock Forsey. From Brock Forsey to Ashton Jeanty and all the all-conference, all-American, NFL draft pick stuff in between. Brock Forsey breaking down Ashton Jeanty. That'll be 5 o'clock on Thursday. Going to be sweet to catch up with my boy Forsey.
Awesome, man. Well, looking forward to tonight. Going to be fun, Johnny. 6 o'clock, you'll be on the call with us. We'll be listening to Idaho Sports Talk first from 3 to 6. So thanks, Johnny. We're going to have Leon Rice join us in just a minute. But first, want to thank a couple of our sponsors. Again, Leon Rice coming up. Don't go anywhere. Lithia Ford of Boise. That anniversary sale is going on right now. Lithia Ford of Boise. You can view that full inventory of vehicles online at lithiafordboise.com. Check them out. Lithia Ford Boise. Some great deals that for that next car or truck. Make sure you're checking out Lithia Ford of Boise. Taco Bell, they're doing big things for us at Bronco Nation News. We sincerely appreciate their support. They're one of our major sponsors, so please return the favor. Go eat at Taco Bell and take your family out there. You will not be disappointed. Great meal, and just love going out there. And they have so many different options. You can just get different stuff every time, and just good old-fashioned, crispy tacos does it for me. But they got all the other great stuff, so check them out. TacoBellWorks.com if you want more information on their charitable giving efforts and how to apply for a job as well. But again, the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family, we appreciate them and thank them for their support of Bronco Nation News. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. All your Boise State gear, check them out, the Blue and Orange Store. I'm talking shirts, jerseys, caps, bumper stickers, you name it, all the NIL shirts, they got it at the Blue and Orange Store. You just go into the Boise Town Square Mall. They're on the second floor next to Pro Image, or you can order online at theblueandorangestore.com. You need a job? Check out Transportation Compliance Service, TCS, all the overweight DOT permits. If you've ever thought about getting into the trucking industry, let Transportation Compliance Service help you out. Check them out online, transcompservice.com. Timberstone Golf Course, we appreciate them. Make a tee time out there in Caldwell. Play timberstone.com, and it's the best course in the valley. Highly recommend the folks at Timberstone Golf Course. Lean Feast, we'll be doing a show out there with me and Prater here soon. LeanFeastMeridian.com. LeanFeastMeridian.com is the correct web address. 10,000 combinations, and again, it's by the ounce, so it's all customizable. You say how much you want, you say what you want. They put it together for you, and in 2 minutes in the microwave, you're eating steak or shrimp for lunch. Highly recommend it. And again, no excuse now to not eat healthy because they deliver anywhere in the Treasure Valley. Anywhere in the Treasure Valley, LeanFeastMeridian.com. Make sure you check them out. And if you want to get in the football contest, Circa Sports, $16 million in guaranteed prizes, $10 million for the Survivor, $6 million for the Millions. We're going down to Vegas for contest weekend. Come join us. We'll get a discounted hotel rate. I'll buy you a steak dinner at Barry's Steakhouse. And if you want to come hang out and check out Circa for a weekend, it's week 0. You'll even have some college football you can bet on. Let us know. We're going down to Vegas next month. It's August 22nd to August 24th. And again, if you want to sign up but can't go, we can sign you up through our proxy, Tom Carroll. And again, it's 100% legal. You just have to sign up in Vegas, but you can play from anywhere using your proxy, Tom Carroll. Tom makes the picks for you and puts them in at Circa. $10 million for the Survivor. Get a couple of buddies. Again, it's a $1,000 entry, but 3 guys cuts that down to $333, and you got a chance to win a share of $10 million. So use our proxy. Let me know if you're interested. Rains at BroncoNationNews.com. We'll get you more information. And by the way, speaking of which, we are having the trip to Vegas for the football game in October. So if you want to go in October to the football game at Allegiant Stadium, reach out to me. We have a package with $500, includes airfare, 2 nights hotel, a free party with booze before the game, transportation to and from the game. So a lot going on. Circa is taking care of us. If you're interested, it's $500. Email me. We only have a limited spots left because it's already selling pretty fast. So if you want to go down to Vegas, be a part of an awesome BNN group, go into the game, reach out to me. Circa Sports at and Circa Resort and Casino. We're very appreciative of them. All right, Bronco Nation News. We continue our look at the Mountain West basketball and the summer series and the coaches doubling up for Lindy's Magazine. 34 stories I think I'll be writing for Lindy's Magazine this summer, Coach. So you're going to be reading plenty of Big 12, Mountain West. I'm doing the women's college basketball stuff as well. So busy summer, getting ready for football, but it's going to be fun. I love basketball. It's by far my favorite sport, so nothing wrong with talking to coaches and talking hoops in the summer, and we get a chance here with one that all of our viewers here know very well, Coach Leon Rice, Boise State. Coach, appreciate your time here on Bronco Nation News. How we doing?
Yeah, we're counting down the days already, and that's kind of been a tradition of ours, especially in this basketball family. And I'm sure a lot of other people do it the same way. You always get excited for those magazines, and there's 365 teams to read about, and Lindy's does a great job with it every year. I think because they do a good job of getting guys like you that actually know the conference and know, instead of just, sometimes we get that East Coast bias and they don't really know us, but
yeah,
we rush out and buy those magazines as soon as they hit the stores. And, I think less and less places are carrying magazines, so they're harder to get, but
yeah,
always kind of an exciting time. You got football starting and all the basketball information, and it's maybe my favorite time of the year.
No doubt, no doubt, and it is a chore, Coach, to go through some of these rosters. I mean, I'm trying to figure out which players are back, who's gone, what these teams look like. I mean, some of these Mountain West teams are having 8, 9, 10 new scholarship players, and it is just crazy. I mean, I had one coach even during the interview go, "Can we pause it for a second so I can look at my roster again?" Like, I mean, it is crazy with the turnover in this league, and I guess just with the new way of college basketball, that's how it's going to be.
Yeah, and it's funny because I saw one team in our league ranked higher than us, and in one of those random preseason polls, and I wanted to call the person who did it and said, "Okay, can you name 5 people on their team or 2?" And I bet they couldn't. It's just,
yeah.
There's just such a shift, and even us, we have a lot of stability in our team, because when you're anchoring it with 2 all-league players, that's a great place to start. And then, you're able to build around those guys. But we're got 8 guys that did not play last year that are going to play, most of them. And they're all looking great. But that is quite a turnover. And like I said, we're one of the most stable ones.
Yeah. Two starters back, and yet it's you're returning some of the most talent in the league. It is crazy. But you look at your roster, and one of the stories I'm doing, we'll just start with Tyson, because one of the stories I'm doing is on Tyson. They're ranking him as one of the top players in the country in the Lindy's magazine. I don't know, the final number hasn't come out yet, but he'll be top 25, top 35, player in the country probably for Lindy's. And in this day and age, he's going to be a rare breed. 4 years. Same school. I think I saw whether it was Jeff Grammer or Ziegler, one of those guys, freshman of the year in the Mountain West to finish his career at that school. It's only happened like 3 or 4 times. I mean, it just doesn't happen in this day and age in the Mountain West, where the freshman of the year ends up staying all 4 years at that same school, and it's going to be less and less now. What does it say about Tyson? I know he downplayed it with me, the interest he got from other schools, because he said, "Oh, they don't have my number because I was recruited early and I didn't have to deal with anybody." But a guy like that, if he wanted to, could have had his pick of the litter of schools and money and everything going on. And I don't think that's some secret to say. The fact that he is here and he's going for the all-time scoring record potentially, and he's going to be one of those legendary Boise State players. What does that say about him and how cool that is in this day and age?
Yeah, it's really remarkable what you just said. I didn't even think about that, the freshman of the year. And I bet it'll never happen again where a freshman of the year has 4 years. I mean, he's going to do something that's never going to happen again. And so I think it starts with what we need to have a gratitude about Tyson and appreciation for him, which I think our fans do, but it needs to take another level, because like you just said, he could have gone anywhere in the whole country. Anybody could use a Tyson Degenhardt. Now, for him, it's been a great fit, and for us, it's been a great fit. And when you're able to deliver all the things that you wanted to deliver, and we're not done yet. We got some more things we want to deliver for Tyson, but through the recruiting process, all the things we talked about, he's on track to hit all those, and it's just been a great journey for him. And he's a guy that we do appreciate, and hopefully we build a statue of him someday out in front of the Extra Mile.
Well, I still think, I mean, I know you guys don't control the arena, whatever, but I still think at some point some numbers need to be hanging in the rafters up there at Extra Mile Arena. And he is certainly a guy, if he has the season he has this year, that he's had the last 3 years, would have to be in the conversation there if he's a top 5 all-time. I mean, all he has to do, Coach, I know he says he's not going for that. I know you guys aren't going for that. It's a team game. I get it. You want to win games, but one more point per game than he had last year, and he'll be the all-time leading scorer at Boise State by the end of the year. I mean, that is really saying something with some of the players that have come through here. But you throw in his character and what he does off the field or off the court, and just all the other things. You just talk to him, and you think he's 35. I mean, that combination. I know you recruit very high character guys. A lot of all the guys in your program are high character guys. Always come over when I'm in the gym and shake my hand and say hello. I mean, you obviously have a lot of guys like him, but his combination of on the court with his off the court, it seems like one of a kind.
It really is. And everyone that meets him says the same thing. And when you first meet him, you're like, wow, is this guy, is this guy real? Because he is that way. And he's just such a great leader, such a great teammate. He's almost too selfish when it comes to basketball, because when you're such a good player, you got to have that ability to, hey, you might have to shoot some bad shots now and then when you're the best player. But when you're that good, you have that ability to make bad shots. And Tyson is such an unselfish guy and high IQ that he'll never take a bad shot. So I think that's one of the things we got to get him a little more comfortable with, like he and Omar, because you're talking about two of the best players in the league. They have to err on the side of aggressiveness. And the great thing about them is their teammates will support that. It's, sometimes you get a guy and he's taking bad shots, his teammates are looking like, what are you doing? But when you get a guy like Tyson or Omar doing it, it's like, oh, go, you deserve it. And they also believe that they're going to make them, because they will.
Yeah, I don't know the numbers exactly, but there'd be a lot of games where you'd look up and he'd have 5 points at halftime, but when the game's over, he had 23. And it was like, what take 6 more shots in the first half, you would have had 33. But on the court, though, one more about Tyson, Coach. You're moving him a little more to the perimeter this year, play some more of the three. I know his 3-point percentage maybe hasn't been quite at times what he wants it to be, and I know we've seen it in practice. We know he can is going to be a stronger 3-point shooter. I mean, is this gonna? He says no doubt this is going to be the best year of my career. He's been working on pick and roll stuff and some different rising and shooting type stuff to be more of a perimeter player in the summer here. How do you look at him on the court as a senior? His potential here and how the move to the perimeter a little more may help him or affect his game.
Yeah, you hit it on the head. Usually what you see, I'll see these guys doing some stuff in practice that just hasn't shown up in games yet. It just takes, habit and more reps doing it. And that's one of the things that jumps out at me with Tyson is his ability to shoot the three hasn't showed up to the level that he can do it yet. I mean, he's one of the best shooters we've ever had here. And that's saying something. I mean, you're talking about Justinian, Buzo, Max, all these great shooters that we've had, and guys that had great years shooting the ball, but I think Tyson could be one of the best. And so that I think that will help him be a little more on the perimeter. Doesn't mean he's not going to go post, because that's where he's a handful, but with more size on our roster, he doesn't have to play the 5. And think about that. He played the 5 2 years ago. He was the 5 and Najee was the 4. I mean, we were small, and so I think it'll really help him with his development, his game at the next level. Be able to show his versatility, because he's always had it. He's developed it even more now, and he's just moved. Him and Tyler have done such a great job together. Tyler Whitmer, our strength coach, he's moving differently. He looks fluid and like a guard, light on his feet, without losing his strength and his toughness. And so it just gives us some great versatility when you can put him at any position.
I mean, yeah, you see your team walking by, Coach. I mean, he's one of the smaller players on the team now. And that's not a bad thing on Tyson. I'm just saying, like, all the height you've added. I think your average height's over 6'7". I mean, it's got to be, if not the tallest team you've ever had at Boise State, one of them for sure. I mean, 3 players under 6'7", I think, on your roster. I mean, it's pretty crazy to think about the height and the length that you've had too. Not just the height, but the length in terms of getting in the passing lanes and altering shots and things. But you mentioned Omar, and I don't know how much when the transfer portal. I mean, I know the second transfer rule that's allowed. loud, but I mean, he was another guy that I assume if he was on the open market would have had a lot of schools again interested in him. You guys found him. You saw his potential from St. John's and the role that he could play and that he could be a more impactful player. And you guys found that, and it proved to be the case. And now you get another year in your system with him. I mean, I think back to that San Jose State game where it was him and Amy going back and forth in San Jose, and he just took over that game. I mean, you were down 9 with 10 minutes left in that game. You might have been down 29 if Omar hadn't kind of taken over there at one point in the first half to keep it kind of close. I mean, a heck of a first year for him. What's the ceiling for Omar here in year 2?
Well, that was kind of his coming out party as far as showing what he can do. And the other thing that you got to remember, and people don't know, Omar played with a broken foot last year. And, when you have that much pounding and, he's a big guy and that's a lot of weight pounding on that foot, the surgery went remarkably well, I think. And he's going to be able to play pain-free. He didn't do that all last year. And I mean, I was just keeping my fingers crossed all year long about his ability to keep playing. I could have seen a scenario where he would have been shut down. And that would have been devastating for our team. Well, now it's healthy. Now it's great. We're really, really slow playing him this summer and working on his skills without a lot of the pounding. And he's going to be ready to go. He's going to, he's settled into our system. He's settled into kind of knowing his strengths and how to play. And now with a year to work on it and a summer to work on it, you're going to see a whole new Omar. And I mean, he was an
scary coach. That's scary.
It is. He was an all-conference player last year. So, like I said, when you have an anchor of those two guys, you're starting with, I mean, that's a great year. 40% of your team is two of the best players in the league. And that's a great place to start. Now, the challenge will be you're adding a bunch of new guys, and that's always a challenge. And so there's a lot of question marks that we have to answer, and that we have to, there's always a two-way adjustment. We have to adjust to them, but they have to adjust to each other and the system. And it does take time. So we want to be able to speed that up as quick as we can. And because those games, in the old days, sometimes November games weren't as important. Well, now you can put some resume wins on there, and we got some great opportunities in November. Those games are important. So you got to get those 8 new guys up to speed as quickly as you can and gelling together.
I'll ask you about a couple of those in a second, but one more returner, Andrew Meadow. I mean, we saw flashes of him. I mean, you maybe don't beat VCU without him hitting a couple of shots. You maybe don't beat St. Mary's without those back-to-back threes that he hit. I mean, he had some huge shots as a freshman. Obviously was playing behind, some great players and didn't get a ton of playing time at times, but I know that part of your excitement for this season is the breakout season he could potentially have. How excited are you for Andrew Meadow?
Well, there hasn't been many guys. I mean, we've had workers in this program. It's what our program, the blue collar mentality. He's amazing. He's like a machine, how much he works. I always kind of got to back him off a little bit. Sometimes Summer's great for that. He gets up more shots than anybody on the team, and that's saying something. Nobody can keep up with him. And that's why he's a great shooter. But he loves basketball, loves to work. And, he's just going to be a guy that just steadily gets better and better and better. And he's becoming one of the best shooters on the team.
You mentioned 2 of the top players in the conference. You throw in Alvaro Cardenas, and you got, I think, 3 of the top 5 or players in the conference, according to some metrics. BartTorvik.com, I know, ranks that in terms of production. But 2 returning starters, but you're returning one of the best players in the Mountain West. Or adding him to your team, but a returning player. Just adding a point guard like that, it just seems like for what you're looking for, and he is the perfect fit for what you guys are looking for. And I guess that was evident in your eyes by Mike Burns, barely a day after you lost to Colorado, seeing it necessary to go meet him there in San Jose and have lunch with him. I mean, you guys saw a fit there. You wanted him. And it seems like I think he, is going to be I don't even know if underrated is fair. I feel like he's not getting talked about as much as he should, in my opinion, at least amongst folks that in terms of the impact he could have. But now that he's, in the spotlight a little more and has a chance to show his game, I think he could have a heck of a year for you.
Well, he was the guy, if he would have been in it's hard to get a lot of all league players if you haven't won a lot of games. Those usually go to the teams at the top of the standings, and he was certainly deserving of being an all league player last year. And credit to Coach Miles and those guys. They found they dug him out, and that I think our staff takes a lot of pride in our evals and being able to find guys that are undervalued. And I think that's what they did with Al. And he's just a great point guard that has an amazing feel, and he loves to be a point guard. He wants to make others better. I think he's a guy, he averaged 5.5 assists a game last year. And on this team with the kind of scores that we have, I could see him contending, in the nation, lead nation in assists. And that's what this team needed. And, that's what we were able to go out and get. So excited about him.
Yeah, I don't think he fits the category of like, oh, yeah, he put up stats, but it was on a bad team. Like, no, look at what he was doing in terms of the assists and some of the other things. And it wasn't like he was out there just shooting 30 times a game, but his percentage from three and some of the other things that he did. And I talked to Tim Miles last week for this series, and he was, as expected, ultimately, respectful and nice of Alvaro and wishing him the best, except for the 2 times, or maybe 3 that you guys play them. But he said that Boise State fans are absolutely going to love him and that he's the perfect fit for your team. And he's, was sad to see him go, but thinks he's going to flourish here at Boise State. Coach, the final couple things for you, just the other newcomers. I'll just throw it into one big question if you can touch on some of them. I know Dylan and Javen, the 2 headliners you're really excited about, but I know you added some other intriguing guys, whether it be, guys coming off red shirts or freshmen that you added. I know you mentioned a lot of guys you expect to contribute now and in the future. And I know that there's a lot of other intriguing pieces that you're excited about adding to this roster.
There is. I mean, we've only went through 3 of them, and there's a lot we're excited about. And Chris Lockett and Emmanuel, who both of them redshirted last year, and they are hungry and they are great. They're good players, and that it's almost, this day and age is almost a draft and stash. Like, people forgot about those 2. They're good basketball players, and I'm excited to get them on the court. Then the 2 freshmen are doing a terrific job, and then you'd mentioned some of these transfers. So but again, it's always a challenge to put that many new guys together. And I think my staff did a great job of going out and recruiting a bunch of high character guys that want to play together. And I don't know if I've had a team that's bonded. We've had some tight teams the last couple of years. That's why we won. But I don't think I've had a team that's bonded as quickly as this group. And when, that can be hard, because when you get a lot of great players, there's usually some confidence and egos and agendas that come along with that. And not with these guys. It's amazing. We found the right guys that will represent us the right way, that will care about the team the right way. And, their parents are buying into the plan. And, it has the making to be a really cohesive team. And that's the challenge, is we got to get it to be a cohesive team as quickly as we can. And it looks like we're off to a good start with that.
If we say Alvaro Cardenas is the perfect point guard for you, I'd have to say that Dylan Anderson seems like the perfect 5-man for you too. I mean, just with his ability to shoot from the outside and the things that you like to have your big men do, it seems like he was a really nice get as well.
Yeah, no, that was crucial. That, big men are a commodity, and they're now in this day and age, developed and little bit older big men are so important to get, because, if you took we took some young bigs back in the day, and they got better and better and better throughout their career here. But to get a guy that's, a little advanced, and like I said, he's 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Arizona. I mean, he did something to get that. He was a highly recruited kid out of high school, and he was highly recruited on the transfer market. So, but this is a great fit for him. He made a great decision. When you get to play alongside Tyson and Omar, you're going to have some amazing opportunities, because they're going to draw a lot of attention. That's going to allow him to grow at the right pace. And but I've seen some great and really encouraging things that he's been able to do. And along with all these other guys, you haven't even mentioned, we haven't even mentioned this freshman. And, RJ Keene's making progress. And we're so happy with the two freshmen that, they are OKGs, our kind of guys. And
you got 3 with Ethan, Coach.
Right. You forget because we had it Ethan late. That's right.
He's the one I might be intrigued about the most, watching him walk by and his wingspan and stuff. Man, wow.
No, and he's been terrific too. That he's a young big guy that we want to invest in and because next year we do lose Tyson and Omar, and we're trying to plan the best that we can to replace 2 of the best players to ever play at Boise State. So that's quite a challenge. But getting Ethan and then Dom here, he's here now too. He'll have to sit because of his knee. But that'll allow us to get those 2 up to speed. So when Tyson and Omar leave, you got 2 talented kids sitting in the wings.
Whether it's E-Man or whether it's Lathan or whoever it ends up being, and you obviously Keene, and you mentioned Lockett and some of these guys. I mean, I know the bench is key for you, and I know at times last year, whether it was me or Prater or whoever, the bench production, we kind of pointed that out, and gave you a little heat, I guess, at times about riding not playing the bench guys as much. And you said, hey, bench guys have to earn their playing time. I'm not just going to play them to take another guy off the court to give him an extra minute of a rest. And do you feel like these guys can? Do you have the talent beyond the starting 5 that you think you hopefully can, that they're going to earn minutes and be good enough to get out there and play? Because I talked to Joe Scott, the Air Force coach the other day, and he's flat out said, we wore down at the end of the season. I can't play, Bo Becker and Ethan Taylor and these guys 37 minutes because shots they were hitting in November, they weren't hitting in late February and early March. And how do you feel about the depth of this team going into the season?
Yeah, I think we had pretty good depth last year. You always want the one more. But because when you got guys like Tyson and Omar, you really don't want to take them out, and they don't want to. I mean, a big part of that is being able to get those guys minutes at some point along the way, where you're not playing every game that you have to play them 35. But in the big games, you need your best players out there. You need your best players shooting. You need that's important. And but we do have a lot more bodies and a lot more guys that you feel really comfortable. And you do want to invest in some of those young guys because they are in line to take over. So it's actually a really nice mix. You got an older group, kind of, maybe would be your first group. And then you got a lot of young guys, knocking on the door. So number one, you got to have that in case something happens, but also like you said, those guys can come in and win you games like what you saw with Andrew last year.
Yeah, and like you said, though, nowadays, like that first game against Oakland, you might be up 20 or some random game. You might have a lead, and you want to get these guys, but like a 17-point win versus a 27-point win matters now. So it's like you got to play these. Like I know some people don't understand that. Like, oh, we need to get these guys more playing time. It's like that's not how this works, and that puts you obviously in a very tough spot because you want to get those guys minutes so they're ready for conference play. But like I said, there's never every game, every second now matters for the metrics and all this stuff. So it's just crazy. But I guess final thing, Coach, we wrap this up. Overall, I mean, you guys, like you said, you're going to be picked first or near the top, I would think, in the conference with what you have coming back. And you've had obviously 3 straight trips to the big dance. I mean, you keep building, like you said, another brick, another step closer. And I mean, you got to feel pretty pleased. It seems like you're very pleased and excited about the potential for this team.
Yeah, and just the guys too, that like you said, that you picked up on it right away. First time you walk into the gym, you're like, this group is exciting to be with. They're fun to coach. They're driven. It's going to be a fun year for me and for these guys. That doesn't mean it's not going to have its challenges. I mean, we're going to have big, big challenges to get 8 new guys and the guys that we have clicking. And, that's our job as coaches, and that's their job as teammates. And what I've seen is a group that's really excited to do that. And so, it's going to be a fun year for Bronco Nation. We got a lot of work to do, but I got guys that want to do the work, and they're great to be around. So a lot to be proud of with this group, and people are going to enjoy watching them.
Well, it'll be here before we know it, Coach. Will be it starts earlier and earlier every year, it seems, with the practices, and you kind of just keep going now with the summer workouts. It doesn't seem like there's ever really an off season, but you got a nice schedule, a nice team. Should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it as always, and appreciate your time here on BNN. And yes, we'll try to get the Lindy's preview to be as, hey, I'm ranking the Big 12 here, Coach. So I mean, we can settle it right now, I guess, if we need to, what it needs to be. But, Sundance Wick said, I hope I pick them last. He said, we want to be DFL. He said, pick us last and put the chip on our shoulder. So we'll see. But I think you guys will be, I can't see right now looking at it how you guys aren't first or at least second. You got to be right there at the top based on how it shakes out. So should be fun. Looking forward to it and appreciate your time, Coach.
All right. Thanks, BJ.
There he is, Coach Leon Rice. Appreciate him for joining us here on Bronco Nation News again tonight. The Bronco Legends Classic. We're going to air it at 6 o'clock on BNN, but let's pack the house. If you're in the area, bring your kids, bring your family. They got food trucks. They got music. It's going to be an awesome night celebrating Boise State basketball, first ever of its kind. And if you want to see this thing continue, bring some friends with you. Let's pack the place. 3-point contest, dunk contest. Again, earlier in the show, we unveiled the names. You got Leon, Bauscher, Tyson, Degenhart doing the judges for the dunk contest. They're going to pull a fan out of the crowd to help do the dunk contest as well. And then you got Justinian Jessup, Max Rice, Marcus Shaver, Thomas Broplay, Tyson Degenhart, Chris Lockett among those in the 3-point contest. Going to be a ton of fun. Hope to see you guys out there. 6 o'clock. I think the doors open at 5 or 5:30. Get out there early. Have some fun tonight and come by, say hello. We will be broadcasting this live. So if you do not live in the Boise area, again, we're going to have one webcam up above center court. We're not exactly going to have the craziest, live stream with replays and multiple cameras and all this, but we'll get you some sort of stream and we'll have some interviews and try to give you what we can on the broadcast side with what our technology at BNN allows. But we will have a stream tonight. Join us at 6 o'clock if you cannot make it, but hoping you're in the area and you can make it. That'd be more fun, I think, to pack this place. Borah High School, get there at 5:30, 3-point dunk contest, full game. It starts right at 6 o'clock. Don't be late. And again, it's presented by Bauscher Real Estate. So super excited to be a part of it. I'm actually heading over right now to set up all of our cameras and our set there at center court and get ready for the broadcast. So going to be a fun day. Looking forward to it. Hope to see a lot of you guys down there at Borah High School. But if not, again, we will have a live stream of the event. And for somebody that's wondering, yes, this is a Cardinals shirt, not Fresno State. But we are excited for that. And again, 6 o'clock, we'll have the live stream if you can't join us in person. So Ashley's excited to see the team counting down the days. Michael, great interview. Let's see what else we got. Thank you for the stream tonight, Lisa says. So yeah, looking forward to that. If you can't join us in person, make sure you're ready at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. We'll have all the festivities tonight on Bronco Nation News. So have a great rest of your day. Going to go set up over at Borah and hope to see you guys tonight. Appreciate it. Criteria for a good dunk. We'll find out tonight on that. You got to make it first of all. I'm not a big fan of guys that miss a couple and then make one. I'm a first dunk guy. You make your first dunk, you're going to get you a little higher in my book, but I'm not the judge, so it doesn't matter. We'll see Leon. We'll see Bauscher. We'll see all these guys tonight. It's going to be fun. We'll see you at 6 o'clock on the BNN YouTube channel. Subscribe, get us to 5,000, help us out, and we'll talk to you tonight. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.